And I have the graphic also, if you guys want to throw that up, if you have it, Jordan Love and what he said. But basically, it was Father's Day yesterday, and we know one quarterback in Green Bay who is the daddy of Chicago, who is the Chicago's father. We know that for a fact. It's Aaron Rodgers. And despite what I think about him, and we may disagree about Aaron Rodgers, you can't deny he owns Chicago.
Of course he did.
He just simply owns Chicago. Now, here's the graphic. He says, "Happy Father's Day to all the Bears fans out there." Jordan Love, you do realize that statement indicates that they're your father. Am I the one who read it that way? Happy Father's Day to all the Bears fans out there.
Yeah, that is how technically that's what you would say to your dad if it was Father's Day.
When's the last time your father ever wished you Happy Father's Day?
I can't say it's ever happened, my man.
Does that doesn't happen, right?
That's not
a normal thing. Okay. So Jordan Love, and let me just talk to Jordan Love for a second, okay? I get he's under tremendous pressure. He's replacing not only just Aaron Rodgers, but you're going from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to now Jordan Love. So there's immense pressure on Jordan Love. And we don't even know if he's going to fail or succeed. No one knows really how good Jordan Love is. You haven't really seen him in a big enough sample size. But let me just say this. Chicago, you're picking a fight with Chicago. How much far better are you than Chicago, Green Bay? You have a decent roster, but you can make an argument Justin Fields right now has shown more than Jordan Love. He has.
He has.
And he's more dynamic, at least we know at this point. So for Jordan Love to act like he's a part of that Rodgers beef with Chicago, you have nothing to do with it. You helped the Green Bay Packers 0 to defeat the Chicago Bears during your tenure with the Green Bay Packers. You have no right. Even if you didn't mean it, because he technically called Bears fans his dad, which, nice. I mean, that didn't make any sense. But even if you said it correctly, that statement is idiotic. Jordan Love hasn't even touched the NFL field for an entire season, and he's already calling Chicago technically his dad. Good luck, Jordan Love. And this is the question I pose to the people, just to clear this up. Who's going to be better this season, Green Bay or Chicago? And that's an interesting question, because right now in the poll, and I have the poll up, who will be better this season in the NFC North, Green Bay Packers or Chicago Bears? Guess who's in the lead from the people? The Chicago Bears, 53% to 47%. The fact that it's even that close gives you no right to talk Jordan Love.
Absolutely.
With what he showed in the NFL, which is pretty much nothing.
And I'll tell you what, and I think we will all agree on this in the room. Is there a lot of question about the Green Bay Packers running game? They got Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, a couple damn good running backs, one of the best duos in the National Football League. They got a couple former Pro Bowlers, and including an All-Pro and David Bakhtiari on their offensive line. They've got a lot of nice pieces on defense, including Rashawn Gary coming back, Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, Jair Alexander, Devondre Campbell. The biggest question mark into whether people think the Green Bay Packers are going to be good or not is one Jordan Love. If I'm talking to Jordan Love, that's you, Jordan Love. Nobody knows if Jordan Love is good or not. And the fact that he's gotten to talking like this, despite having not helped the Packers win any of those games against the Bears, at least while he's been on the team, to me is absolutely laughable, and it is him being way too big for his britches. Oh, Jeff, I actually know how he did help. The way that he held that clipboard and sat on the bench and left like an ass print in the bench, that is how he's helped this team win. Unbelievable job, Jordan Love. Those sweet nothings he may have whispered in Aaron Rodgers' ears like, hey, go out and make that pass. That is how Jordan Love allegedly helped. Does he not realize that he is one of the biggest question marks in all of the NFL? Didn't I say it at the beginning? What is the biggest question mark on the Green Bay Packers? It's Jordan Love.
Yeah, it is.
Why is he talking about the Bears? It is very plausible that the Bears are better than the Packers this year. Even though the Packers have a lot of decent pieces, it's just nobody knows anything about Jordan Love. Sit down.
And
be humble.
This does not happen in the NFC North, period. I mean, you look at the quarterbacks, Jared Goff. Even though they were, 5-1 last year against the NFC North?
Yeah.
You hear Jared Goff come out and say, yeah, we own the NFC North. You ever heard Justin Fields, even though he hasn't been winning in the NFC North, say anything? These guys don't speak. Aaron Rodgers is the only one, but he has the right to, because he's owned the NFC North for a long time.
Yes.
Kirk Cousins, he'll beat up the Bears. You think he's over there saying we own the Bears? Jordan Love to do this, the only person who has done this is the guy he sat behind and, like you said, held a clipboard for him. This isn't one of those fights you want to get into, Jordan Love, because I'm telling you right now, Aaron Rodgers at least could back it up, and he proved that for pretty much a 20-year career. You don't want this smoke, Jordan Love, I'm telling you. You don't want more pressure than what's already put on your shoulders, which is just simply being a franchise quarterback. It's not even being Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love just has to show he's a franchise quarterback to some extent. It's not even just living up to Aaron Rodgers' name. But to do something like this, Chicago's going to have clipboard material.
Chicago is
when they play the Packers. Jordan Love, you are to blame, and you better play damn well. But Broder, what are your thoughts on it, Jordan Love, with these comments? So trying to say he's the daddy of Chicago, but basically calling Bears fans his daddy.
The only person that can call somebody daddy is Kirby Joseph, and his son isn't even in the division anymore. I don't think Jordan Love has the right to say this. He's still got to prove himself. So no, I think it's. I thought it was pretty lame that he posted that yesterday.
No, listen, I'm all for trash talk, and I want to clear that up. I'm cool with trash talk. But if the dog's barking and that dog is no threat, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't care for it. Like, if you're going to bark and you're going to talk trash, at least be able to back it up. This is the biggest thing I have with Dylan Brooks. I absolutely hate Dylan Brooks because not even just that he talks trash, is that he's so bad on top of talking trash, he's actually detrimental to his own team. Jordan Love, for him to say something like this without ever playing a full season, I don't think he's even faced the Bears in his career.
I don't believe so.
So I don't like it. I never like it, especially when players talk trash. If he goes out, sweeps the Bears, and the next season is like, hey, I own Chicago, fair. You could, even though I wouldn't still agree with it, fair. But for Jordan Love to say these things, Lucas, this is too premature. Am I crazy for this?
Love just an all-around fucking goofball for this comment. I think it speaks to exactly what Jordan Love has done in his career. I can't think of what does Jordan Love do on an elite level. He doesn't have some fucking cannon. Yeah, he has a good arm. He has some mobility. The only thing we've seen productive out of this guy is hit Christian Watson on a 7-yard slant route, and he took it 76 yards of the house. And then Eagles fans were like, or not Eagles, and Packers fans were like, oh, you better watch out, he's cooking. It's like, no. He has a fast receiver, he made a good route, and the receiver made the play. We saw Romeo Doubs. Every year it seems like the Packers receivers start out slow. But what's the one thing that they had? Aaron Rodgers to make it all cool out. And Aaron Rodgers isn't there. I think just his arm alone was falling off, and now you're going from Aaron Rodgers' mental brain to Jordan Love, and we just saw what happened. He calls the Bears fans daddy. I'm not with it. I think Jordan Love made a fool of himself. He's going to do the exact same thing on the field this year.
Yeah, and typically when quarterbacks say things like this early in their career, not always it works out. I mean, yes, Aaron Rodgers was in the same position that Jordan Love was. He held a clipboard for Brett Favre. He sat for 3 years, and then he had a great Hall of Fame career. That doesn't always happen. And listen, I may be mistaken, but did Aaron Rodgers ever talk like this before he played?
No.
To say I own Bears fans, I'm their father, which, again, technically he said Bears fans are his father, but regardless, Aaron never did this. So for Jordan Love to do this, who are you? Who are you, Jordan Love? That's why I'm so excited to find out what Jordan Love is. And again, he could be great.
He could be.
He also could be trash. There's that too. So for Jordan Love to say this, Sam Flanley, he better back it up.
As everybody knows, I'm a numbers guy, and I had thought to myself, it seems as though Jordan Love, whenever I've seen him play, he hasn't done a whole lot to impress me. But while Broder and Lucas were talking and making excellent points, by the way, I decided I would go look at Jordan Love's career numbers. And you mentioned that touchdown pass to Christian Watson, that one where Christian Watson did most of the work. That was his only touchdown pass last season. And in Jordan Love's 3-year career, he has thrown for 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. I'm not saying that's all his fault. He's had to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, but all of our collective points is that if you are coming in your first time as a starter, the Packers are finally handing the keys over to you. Show some humility. You mentioned that I remember Aaron Rodgers, I forgot what year it was, he scored a touchdown at Soldier Field and said, I own you, to the Bears crowd, but that was like a year or two ago. That was after he'd already had a Hall of Fame career. That was after Aaron Rodgers had already been a Super Bowl MVP in his 3rd season as a starter. Aaron Rodgers had earned the right to talk that shit. Jordan Love hasn't earned the right to do anything. He should be on his knees thanking the man upstairs that he's even a starter right now, because we all know if Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have had probably the worst season of his career last year, he might have been back.
Yeah.
And Jordan Love might have spent the entirety of his rookie deal not playing. So
it almost went that way.
It almost went that way.
And I want to read some of these comments too. Because, again, Dan G says, I think you guys are making fools of yourselves. He was just wishing his rivals a happy Father's Day, not talking trash. Really?
Oh, Lord.
My question is, was that necessary? Like, for Jordan Love, like, I get if it was Jair Alexander coming out and saying, hey, Chicago, happy Father's Day, I own you guys, whatever. Jordan Love, who's never even played a significant period of time, coming out and talking trash, it doesn't make sense to me. And all I'm asking for, I'm not going to sit here and say I hate Jordan Love, but you got to back it up. You better back it up, Jordan Love. And for your guys' sake as well. Eric says, weren't 2 of those interceptions against the Lions for Jordan Love? Is that true?
I cannot confirm that, but
I was there at the game that he played in garbage time. I think it was 2 seasons ago, where he threw, I believe, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 interceptions, but Tracy picked off one of them.
Okay.
So there's some truth to that. But regardless, all I'm saying is, Jordan Love, you better back it up. This doesn't apply to me. I don't care about what the Packers do this season. I think the Bears and Packers will be right around the same win total number, just because, to me, the Packers have a really good roster, but all the question marks are for Jordan Love. The Bears have an improved roster, but I know what Justin Fields is. At least I have a good idea. And I like what he is turning into so far, if he can just throw the damn ball, which he showed last year to some extent. So we'll see. But Jordan Love, for him to talk trash, and the Packers aren't this far superior team to the Bears, that takes balls.
Absolutely.
That takes balls.
And Lucas,
Jordan
I'm going to get to you in a second. I know you're chomping at the bit, but I got to respond to something that Booner said in the chat, because of course Booner always has something to say. He said that, let the man be confident. It's his first year as a starter. My response to that is, you don't see Patrick Mahomes posting stuff like that. You don't see Josh Allen posting stuff like that. You don't see Joe Burrow posting stuff like that. You don't see Jalen Hurts posting stuff like that. So what the hell gives Jordan Love the right to go joking that the Packers organization is the Bears' father? Maybe the Packers organization it had 0.0 to do with you, Jordan Love. I'm going to let you go now, Lucas.